This is a sphere made in Minecraft, and although my computer is seriously struggling to render this monstrosity, as you can see, it is completely possible to create illegal shapes in vanilla Minecraft. How did I do it though? Well, a few days ago, I saw a video from another YouTuber by the name of Mysticat where he attempted to create a perfect circle in vanilla Minecraft. And that video now has over 14 million views, so naturally, I had to see exactly what he'd done. It was actually a really good video, so definitely go check him out. But as I watched through his process of making the circle, I knew there was a lot that could be improved.
Now, let's fix this, and it should do exactly what we want this time. And we'll stop that. Go up here and turn it.
Now the major issues with that were the following. Number one, since he manually had to start and stop the armor stand, there was bound to be some overlapping or doubled armor stands somewhere, making it not as efficient as it could be. And when you're messing around with illegal shapes in Minecraft, trust me, every single FPS counts. Number two, it would only work with the item he specifically put in the command blocks, which in this case was sandstone, and if you wanted to change it to any other block, you'd have to recode everything. And finally, issue number three, you need to get command blocks, know how to use them, and know the correct commands, which work great for Mysticat, but for everyone else, it might be a bit tricky to pull off. Now, how did I recreate my circle design? Well, for starters, I put all my commands in a datapack instead of command blocks, which makes everything much faster and more efficient. Hold on just a minute. I know some of you are going to say that datapacks aren't truly vanilla Minecraft, but I'm here to say you're wrong. According to Google, vanilla is the out-of-the-box, plainest and purest version of a game. Therefore, a vanilla Minecraft client should be unmodded and without plugins or added custom software. Not only are datapacks not mods, plugins, or other software, they are specifically made by Minecraft for this very reason, for people to create stuff without the use of other software. And if you're still skeptical, all these commands could have been put in command blocks and it would have done the exact same thing, just slower. But then you guys wouldn't have been able to click the link in the description and download the datapack for yourself, so you can also crash your computer. Experience circles in Minecraft. Creating the circle is actually really easy. You don't need to dig around for any command blocks or do any commands yourself. Just place down an anvil, right click it, and rename a name tag to circle, just like so. Then, once you put it in your offhand, whatever block you're holding in your main hand will be able to turn into a circle. So if we take this nice flat area right here, hold the sand because that's what I want it to be made out of, and I sneak, it will actually make the circle right under my feet instantly. That just looks incredible. It's a perfect circle in the ground. And you can see there is a little bit of glitching in there, which I'll talk about later, but overall it's extremely smooth and it looks just amazing. Honestly, there's no words for it. It's just incredible. You gotta try it out for yourself. And just the circle actually is performing just fine. I'm still running at 400 FPS, so that's really, really good considering this is a perfect circle in Minecraft. I can even place down some water in here if I want, like Mysticat did in his video, and it looks just really, really cool. Look at that. That's just the most amazing thing ever. It's so perfect. It's too perfect. And like I said, this works for any block. So if I use the stone block now, hold that in my main hand, and I'm holding the name tag again in my offhand, and I sneak, there we go. We actually have a perfect circle, and again, the floor is made out of sand, so it just looks really cool. This whole contrast, there's no visible imperfections. It just looks so amazing. And here we can put lava instead. Imagine finding this in a cave, just a circular lava pool. It just looks really cool. There we go, the perfect lava pool. I would gladly jump in this pool just because it's round. Now, I haven't actually tested this out with glass yet, so I'm gonna just do it right here. I don't know what this is gonna look like, but I can imagine it's pretty crazy. Here we go. There you go, guys. Glass circle. This looks very, very, very weird. Here's an emerald circle if you wanted an emerald circle. You know, it also looks really nice. Now, the best visual improvement with my data pack from Mysticat's method is that there isn't as much Z fighting. And Z fighting is when these textures on top are fighting over which one will be shown. You can see there is still a little bit here, but let me just demonstrate how much better mine is. If I do slash function shape circle spawn old, this is what it would have looked like if I used Mysticat's approach. Everything's on the same level, and you can see that everything is looking very bugged. There's a lot of I don't even know what to describe it. There's just a lot of noise happening up there because they're all fighting for which texture is going to be shown. Now, if I do the same with my method, you can see how much better it looks. There still is a little bit, but you can actually tell which texture it is. It looks just a lot cleaner, whereas that one is just kind of a big mess. And again, you can't really notice that with sand, but with other very detailed textures like this makes a massive difference. And now I've got a melon swimming pool for some reason. Now you might be wondering, Why am I lagging so much all of a sudden? And that is because I've made actually a really deep hole just by doing this over and over again. Let's see if I can get close enough. Oh, I'm lagging so bad. This is what it looks like, and my computer is definitely going to die right now. And once you decide you don't want a giant melon circle in your world, you can just throw a piece of TNT on it and it will go away immediately, leaving nothing behind. I need that. But I seriously just cannot get over how cool this looks. It just looks so perfect. Next up, we have spheres, the most epic looking shape, but also the deadliest one for your computer. This is where my method really improves the situation for one very simple reason: efficiency. In Mysticat's video, he played around a lot with only using a few command blocks to recreate the effect.
You know, it's not actually that bad. It actually, oh, yeah, it is working right. Okay, it just looked weird from in there. But they're not turning, they're only turning on that direction.
But in the end, he came to the conclusion that it wouldn't work with armor stands and it needed to be hard-coded. And honestly, I'm really impressed that he actually manually placed all those command blocks to make a sphere. But there is actually a way not to hard-code it. Now, I will admit that my code does have more than 4 commands, but that is so that it makes everything as efficient and as smooth as possible while automating the whole process, so you don't need to spawn and manually break armor stands. In the end, it looks something like this. If you go up to an anvil once again and rename a name tag to sphere, and again, you gotta put it in your offhand, while holding whatever block you want the sphere to be made out of in your main hand, and you sneak, it just looks incredible. There it is, guys. There's a sand sphere, and it is pretty big, and it is lagging a lot more than with the circles, but you know, it's still functioning. I'm at like 10 FPS, so it's definitely still playable. And this is a pretty big sphere, but there it is, just a sphere. And it's all very rounded, everything's sloped, as you can see. If we go inside, it just looks so cool. Look at this. I don't even know like how to describe it. It's so wrong. I shouldn't be able to do this, but here I am inside a sphere. And honestly, it looks really cool inside. But then from the outside, it looks really cool as well. Now, for safety, if you spawn in another sphere, it's going to kill this one, because if you spawn 2 spheres at the same time, trust me, your computer is going to crash. I have tested it. Right now, off to the side here, I'm going to make one out of stone, if I can get it there. There we go. Stone actually looks also cool. Not sure which one looks cooler, but just it all looks so amazing, but also terrible. Like, I don't know. It's so confusing. Here it is inside the stone. Again, very nice. Now, the coolest sphere, in my opinion, is actually black concrete, because it almost looks like a black hole. If I just jump down here and spawn it in, there we go. Doesn't that look epic? It's just like a black hole sitting in my mind. Like, it doesn't look right. It looks like something's wrong with my screen. Like, why is there just a giant dot on my screen? It's so cool. And this is completely vanilla Minecraft. You don't need a resource pack or a mod or a plugin, nothing. This is just plain old Minecraft. Anyone who joins your world or your server will be able to see this without anything else. They don't need a mod, they don't need anything. They can just see this. I mean, it'll probably crash their computer, but oh, that's so cool. This is what glass looks like. Glass looks really cool as well. Very weird effect, but it actually lags a bit less. That's kind of weird. I'm like at 20 FPS, doubled FPS, because it's made of glass. I'm really not sure why that works, but it looks very cool. And the really weird thing is that you can do it with very strange blocks. So if I do it with a door, for example, you can see that it actually looks really weird, and it really shows how everything's sloped. So these at the top are straight up, and then it kind of slopes down like this. So it's really cool effect. It's really weird just flying around. It just looks so cool from the bottom as well. It's so weird being inside. Oh, it's such a weird effect, but I love it. It's just so incredibly awesome. And also, if you go into spectator mode, you can see all of these are armor stands. No minecarts here. It is completely possible with relatively few commands. And once again, if you don't want your sphere to be in your world, just throw a TNT on it, and it will lag for a bit for sure, but it will all go away eventually. There we go. It's gone.